Hey y'all, hey. Okay, this message, I believe God was titling that God is finalizing the separation process. He is finalizing the separation process and you are coming out of hiding, okay? So this message is basically for some people, probably within this past week or recently, he there's been another, I don't know. Let me see what it is. I guess separation. I'm sorry, y'all. There's been another separation, right? Maybe from somebody close to you or whatever. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, but basically you have broken ties with someone recently, okay? God showed you someone. He showed you this person, who they are, how they really feel about you. And you really, at this point, have no other choice but to cut ties with them. But this person could be this can be a core person for some of y'all. Y'all, let me just, I'm just going to share my experience, how he showed me this. And so basically for me, this was a core person in my life. This was somebody that I actually never saw my life without. Never in my mind did I play out them not ever being a part of my life. This was a core person for me. But ever since COVID, God has been shining light on all my personal relationships, like all of them. And he's been calling people out left and right. I remember like the first person, he was like, they don't respect you or they don't think much of you. And not in no, God is God. So not in no petty way or nothing. What I had to realize for every person in my life, as he called them out one by one and showed me different things or whatever, and not saying that all of them were bad, but the ones that he had to separate me from, he had to separate me from them because God was trying to show me my identity in him. He was trying to give me my purpose. He was trying to get me to finally walk in my purpose. But with certain people around, I wouldn't have been able to do that because they had my ear. And every time God was telling me I was something, they were telling me I wasn't, right? So, God, say God is telling you you're enough. Say he's calling you to be a leader. Say he's giving the things that God shows us about ourselves sometimes are overwhelming because he sees so much more in us that we can't even see, but he's our creator. So he knows what he put in us and he's been pulling it out of us. That's what he's been doing. He's been helping us to release everything that we've already been in possession of, right? He created us. So he already put this stuff in us and he knows how to get it out, right? And he knows the things and the people and the places that keep it hidden, okay? So he had to shed light on that, y'all. Oh, man, he had to shed light on that. And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm still processing this. I am literally still processing it. I didn't want to make a video yet because I'm still processing it. But if I'm being honest, this particular relationship was so close to home. I'm still going to be processing it for a while because I just never, I never saw, this person not being in my life. So, but anyways, it was also like a retesting, okay? It was like a retesting. And like I said, one by one, God was calling out people ever since COVID. And once I fully surrendered to him, I think it was 2021 when I fully surrendered to him, I gave him my life completely. Whatever he said to do, I would do it. And I've been doing it ever since. And that's when he told me to stop talking to the first person. And I didn't necessarily want to, right? Because they was like family, but he had showed me too much and I had to do it, right? And so anyways, he started, Jesus, these people that he's showing y'all now, they're core people. They're close to home. And it's like a finalization of the separation process. And this person, it was like a retest. This situation with them that happened around COVID time, this is when he first shed light on how they really feel about me. And he was showing me that you would do anything for this person. You're constantly giving to this person, but this person never gives back. You have to pay this person to show up for you. You gotta It has to be something in it for them, right? But he was pointing out countless times, like, you would give the shirt off your back for this person. You would give what you don't even have, for this person. And he showed me clear as day, they won't even show up for you, right? And then he was shedding light on the lack of respect. And then, sometimes we have people that call us things that aren't our names. And the stuff they call us or whatever, those things, they're not promoting growth or good health or any of the things that you're trying to be now, or healing, right? If you have a bunch of friends and they still calling each other the B word, I'm gonna be very honest, I'm not even comfortable in those settings anymore, right? Because I'm not a female dog. So you can't address me like that. Maybe once upon a time we may have called each other that, but I don't flow like that no more. That's not my name, right? So things like that, things you can no longer answer to, right? And so God was shedding light on that. He was shedding light on that and bringing exposure to it. And basically what he showed me is I had been hiding and hiding so many parts of myself to stay in these relationships for these people's comfort, right? I had been hiding myself for so long, different pieces of myself, so these people can be comfortable with me, so these people can be happy with me, so I don't make anybody uncomfortable, so I don't rock the boat, right? Oh, man, y'all. And he gave me more of this message. There was an old dream that came back up in my stories from exactly a year ago, where he was talking about soul ties and collecting our hidden pieces. So check out that dream when you get a chance, if this is relative to you. I reposted it, and basically what it was showing, you can have a soul tie with someone you never slept with. You could have a soul tie with a relative. You could have a soul tie with a friend. And not all soul ties are bad. It's the toxic ones, okay? Because when you get close to someone, you are tied together, so to speak. You can't. When I have a close friend that's like a sister to me. When she's hurting, I think about her, and I feel led to check on her. We are tied together, but she's a good tie. You see what I'm saying? But when you are tied to toxic individuals, they can affect you. They can affect the way you think about yourself. They can be the reason that you've held back from doing that thing that God has been telling you to do. They can be the reason why you don't believe you're good enough. And you might not even realize it. And like I said, I'm still processing it for this relationship, because I'm not going to lie, this is kind of hard for me. God was just shedding light on different things they said to me during casual conversation. And I thought those things were so innocent, but he was showing me that they affected me. They affected how I see myself as a woman. They affected the thoughts I have about myself, right? Any thoughts or any things that's causing you to settle in how you see yourself or how you view yourself, God is doing away with that, because the position he is calling you to requires greater. It requires more. And in order for him to get the things that he put in us out, without us, pushing it back in because of our surroundings, because of the people in our ear, he has to clear the space, right? He got to get us out of some places, some situations, some relationships, okay? So anyways, you guys, Lord have mercy, I feel like I was all over the place with this, but God is finalizing the separation process. This person was retested in my life. This was God gave them the same test twice. It was the same type of situation. They failed it the first time back in 2020, and then same situation came up again. And it was almost like he was trying to see if they learned their lesson, and they failed it again. They failed it again, and God was looking at me like, you know what you got to do? And I'm like, God, are you kidding me? Not this one. Oh, Jesus is Lord. But yeah. Oh, that's another thing too, you guys. Okay, so that's another thing too. It's almost like it's like I said, they got retested because the first time they were tested in my life was in 2020, right after COVID. And God was just showing me things are coming full circle. Everything is going to happen all over again. Um, like we already talked about this, just like there's going to be a lot of deaths. There's going to be a lot of births, a lot of children being born. And then, people have been talking about the double portion for the children of God. What God has shown me was COVID was just a pregame. COVID was merely just a pregame. So what we seen in COVID was just, like I said, basically a warm up compared to what's about to come. So just imagine what happened with COVID times two, from the deaths to all the babies that were birthed during the process to the abundance, right, of wealth that came in as well. But this is going to be wealth that you can keep. COVID was just the pregame, the beginning of testing. And what's coming after this is going to be on a whole nother level. So just like, for instance, when you experience some type of increase after that, around that time, and the people in your life weren't happy for you, remember those people who weren't happy for you? Remember the different things you had to go through from the people around you? So, some of them same people are being retested right now. Let's see if they changed. Let's see if they learned their lesson, okay? And most of them haven't. Most of them haven't, all right? And so do not be surprised when things turn around and these same people, they're going to be feeling the same way they did before because they have not learned their lesson. But this is the thing. They have been tested. God has shown you who they are. So don't feel bad when you move forward and enjoy all of this, okay? You are not to feel bad when you move forward and enjoy all of this because they had a second chance to get it right and they failed it again. And they shown you who they are. And the thing is, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. It's the spirit in the person that we're up against, okay? Spirit of jealousy, spirit of pride, envy, whatever spirit they wrestling with. That's why you cover them in prayer as you move forward. But you definitely have to move forward. And if God separates you from a person, do not give them access to your home. Jesus is Lord. Some of these people will talk nice to you later, but they are not to have access to your home after God calls them out. They are not allowed to have access to your home as you transition unless God tells you otherwise, okay? Something he also showed me, I don't know if I said this already, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm rambling, but something he also showed me, which I said before, was as he's clearing these relationships up, the parts of us that we hidden away, he's pulling them out. He's calling them out because he wants to fill them up. There's different pieces of us that we hidden away, and he wants to free them. He wants to take the mask off. He wants us to be free to be everything he created us to be because he is literally calling us out of hiding. Okay? And like I mentioned before, I think I mentioned this before, certain relationships we've been entertaining for a long time has caused us to hide away some of the best parts of us. They've gotten in the way of our growth. They've spoken things over our life that wasn't true. We thought it was innocent, but it was really harming us. It wasn't helping us. And believe it or not, they've even affected the way you see yourself. If you allow yourself to continually be disrespected by a person, in a sense, you are devaluing yourself. If you continually put yourself in a position to keep letting somebody come around who you know doesn't value you, who you know doesn't have any respect for you, and you keep allowing it, in a sense, it's like you're disrespecting yourself, right? You're not about holding value on for yourself or whatever. And so, anyways, y'all, that was the message. That was the word. Basically, he's calling y'all out of hiding, and this is part of it. And then he also, oh, Jesus is Lord. He was saying the reversal is taking place. So while he's calling his children out of hiding, we'll be seeing the enemy flee as well. The enemy will be going into hiding. His children are coming out of hiding, and the enemy will be going into hiding instead. Okay, it's a reversal. His children are coming out, and the enemy's going to have to flee and hide. And something he's been showing me, I don't know if y'all been seeing like a lot of different people getting exposed, like people in Hollywood or the music industry or whatever, and they just been exposing people left and right. And I heard God say they will destroy themselves. Okay? Yeah, God said they will destroy themselves. He was talking about exposure, the reversal taking place, us coming out of hiding. And he said the enemies, they will destroy themselves. Okay? Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. There's so much more to that. But y'all, that was it. That was basically the word. You're coming out of hiding. You're coming out of hiding. And God is finalized. Oh, Lord have mercy. Jesus is Lord. Help me, Lord. Help me. Okay. And you're coming out of hiding, and God is finalizing the separation process. Okay. So when he tells you to cut certain people off, cut them off. Do not let them back in without his permission. Keep them in your prayer, but cut them off in the mighty name of Jesus. Listen, cut them off and do not let them back in unless God tells you otherwise, all right? You're coming out of hiding, and he's finalizing the separation part, all right? All right, I love y'all. I love y'all. Y'all be blessed.